Okay, another why bodybuilders do fasted cardio. So there's a lot of back and forth research here and there. Does it matter? Does it make a difference? You know, I think currently, right now, the consensus is it doesn't make that much of a difference. And if it does, it's negligible when you're accounting for total calorie intake spread out over the day, weeks, and months. Okay. I 100% can see that and can agree with that. However, there is something to be said for the way physiology works. When you wake up, you are in a relatively fasted state, especially when it comes to contest prep. So, the way that I see it is if there's a chance for even a half a percent, 1%, quarter of a percent of an advantage for fasted cardio making a difference, I think it's worth it. So I don't think there is any downside to it as long as you're not getting into the areas of exhaustion where it's no longer a low intensity state, steady state cardio lifts, and your heart rate's getting really jacked up in the morning, especially when you're super lean. If it's just a brisk walk where your heart rate's still, you know, in the lower zones for whatever your normal heart rate is, I don't see anything wrong with it. And I think that I personally think it helps because kind of gets your day going. And I'm not sure, you have to judge how tired you are and all of those things. But if you've had a decent meal the night before, which most of us do because we want to sleep and prioritize sleep, uh, you are technically in a fasted state when you wake up. I know I'm hungry. I can hear my stomach rumbling, but I still hydrate and I'll drink some coffee as I'm walking and I'll get some cardio in. And I haven't seen through this prep and through other preps that I've gone through, I haven't seen any negative outcome from it. Um, so again, if there's no advantage, whatever, right? But I like starting my day with it. I think a lot of people, bodybuilders, like knocking it out because also, here's the thing: cardio takes up a lot of time. So you don't really have to think, you don't have to warm up, you don't have to do much just to get walking. And you're going to have to hit your steps or do some kind of activity throughout the day, especially if you're in a sedentary job. If you're not, right? If you're a laborer that you're always on your feet or retail worker or something like that, then don't worry about it, right? You're already doing a bunch of stuff. But if you have a semi-sedentary job where you know that you need steps no matter what, just knock it out. And hey, if there's a 1% increase on it impacting the way that your physique's going to outcome, why not take it? So that's the way I see it. Again, does the science back it? Who knows? Is placebo effect a thing? Sure. Can it impact your day in a positive way by just getting something knocked out and you have a great mindset the rest of the day? Absolutely. So, can it stave off your first meal and keep you occupied instead of having to think about if you wake up early? Because we all know deep in prep, you're waking up earlier than you want to anyway, and you can't sleep. And I know all of us, first thing on our mind, when's that first meal? And so if you do cardio for 30 minutes to an hour, well, now you just pushed back that first meal and thoughts of, thinking about food, because unfortunately, we're going to be food focused. So that's my take on why bodybuilders do fasted cardio. If you're one of us, let me know why you do it, you know? And if you're not, let me know what you think. Thanks again. See you on the next one.